Evening, everybody. This is IFBB Pro Dr. Mark the Shark Smith coming to you in my tranquil backyard, cigar in hand once again, to discuss with you a philosophy I developed and published a few weeks back called the Locomotive Principal. And it's up for e-text if you're ever curious about it on Amazon. But just to kind of give it a synopsis or summary for you to understand, it's a philosophy I developed probably over a decade ago to specifically cater to contest prep and bodybuilding in general when I was a much younger man. But it translates to everything success and achievement wise, and I've kind of held to it no matter what my goal sets were or what was going on in my life, and just making sure I kept achieving and finishing out things that I started and on the major goals I've had for myself over time and the new ones that I'm developing and going after. But it starts with a hard foundation of really taking the time to kind of hone in what your goals are actually going to be. I mean, I can ask anybody, what are your goals in 5 years, or what do you want to do with your life, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to rattle me off a bunch of shit. And most of it's going to be superficial stuff that they think sounds good or stuff that's kind of on their to-do list, but nothing's going to, resonate with them. You have to really take time to kind of develop these and really attach an emotional setting to them, because these goals themselves should be your motivation to finish and achieve. There should be something really deep-seated in you that wants you to finish this out and will not stop you until you do. It's got to be a compulsion, a fixation, and it's got to be something that you just have to complete or you just don't feel right. And if you're not picking goals that are those, then you might have to reassess what your plans are, or just figure out exactly what it is that you want to do or achieve and go from there. Once you've had that hard discussion with yourself and kind of figured out your game plan as far as what you actually are going to be aiming for, after then you can start to actually kind of roadmap it a bit. Now, roadmaps, as you know, we always make them linear because in a perfect scenario and world, we could just focus and go after those continuously with no efforts or issues or things coming up. But that's not reality. Reality is that anything and everybody is going to be in your way in some way, shape, or form to mess with you as you progress to trying to achieve what you want to. You'll have a lot of support. You're also going to have a lot of people that are just going to hinder, and not in a malicious manner most of the time, but they're just going to be in the way. And you have life, you have responsibilities, you have things that come up, but you have to always make sure that you, keep that, to the chest feeling of that specific goal that you need to achieve. And it might take you longer, it's probably going to, but you know that in the end you're going to make it there. And what I cater to or really focus on is that it's all about the small things. The Locomotive Principal is built around momentum and building enough inertia and getting to a stage where you're pretty much on like a full steam ahead situation where almost nothing is going to be able to stop you from getting to your end goal. Now, how you do this in bodybuilding, it's easy. Contest prep, in my opinion, is not hard. It's just consistency. I've been doing it a long time, so it's not a difficult task to do, with all honesty. It's just consistency, patience, and understanding that there's a process that goes with it. It's hard once the first time you do it, but after a while you become egregious to it. You understand that it's what it is, and you just go through it, and there's nothing that's going to bother you about it. But it fixates on the day, that every day has to be kind of perfect, so to speak, that you focus on specific tasks and things that have to get done, and you make sure that they're all done. Whether or not you lose sleep, whether or not it takes longer, you have to kind of cater to other things, you get pulled in different directions, it makes no difference, because in the end, you're responsible for those specific items that have to get done off of your to-do list in order for you to move forward towards the momentum you're trying to achieve to complete your achievement that you're trying to get done. So it always comes down to you. I'm first and always going to say that no matter what happens, failures or not, it's always going to be on your shoulders. It always comes down to your own choices and things that you do. Nobody specifically is going to be your reasoning for not being able to achieve something. And if you are finding yourself kind of blaming or kind of leaning to other ways, then you really need to check yourself and get back into the groove, because let's face it, it's up to you. It's not on anyone else to do it for you, and it's not on anyone else to stop you from doing it. It's up to you. And so you focus on every day, every task, and you just complete it. You just do it. You do it. Repetitiveness, it gets monotonous. You sometimes are like barely mentally focused into it, but you just have become so accustomed to it. You just do it over and over and over again. And eventually you build up this momentum Because I always say that the Locomotive Principal surrounds around the idea that if you get a train up to top speed, to stop that or derail it, it becomes a very difficult task. To keep it immobilized is actually quite easy, but to stop it while it's going is a very, very difficult thing to do with all the weight behind it. And that's the premise. You just keep chucking away at it. You keep, hitting chunks, you keep doing consistencies, you keep be patient, and you know that all these things are going to add up and do what you need to do. And from that, you build this momentum, this inertia that's almost unstoppable, of a force, so that anything that comes up or little things that are thrown in the way, people, items, situations, shit, it's never going to stop you. It might slow you down a little bit, it might get in the way, but it's never going to hinder your movement, and that's the goal. And that can translate to anything achievement-wise. You see it, you know it has to get done day to day, and you do it. And that's the easiest way I can depict it. Motivation is all in you. Inspiration, it can come from others and other things in your life, but for the most part, it's internal. It's something you have to just want and fixate toward. Successful people and people that achieve things are not an anomaly. They're just people that just don't stop until they finish what they start. They're compulsed to finish what they need to. They're fixated on it. It becomes an obsession, and they just keep doing it until they finish what they start. It could be as rudimentary as finishing out a Netflix show, but that fixation's there to complete what you do. And you don't have to go grand with it. You don't have to try to become president or cure cancer, but make sure it's personal to you and it's something you want to actually do, that it's feasible, and you go after it. The bigger the goal, the longer it's going to take, the more patience and time effort that's going to take into it. And just have that accountability for yourself to do it and to work through it. And I can tell you from experience, there's going to be a lot of things that get tossed in your way. There's going to be a lot of, as I call them, the unproductive. There's going to be things that you might have to let go that you personally want to do, or just that are not hindering to you. There's going to be people in your life that are going to be anchors that are going to kind of slow you down and just get in the way. But you'll have a lot of support to do that. And I don't think anyone, in my personal opinion, I don't think anyone maliciously is trying to hinder your success. It's just their own issues that they're trying to work through and do. I have a hard time believing anyone is inherently evil or having bad intentions towards you. But, they got their own shit to work through. And if you're spending a lot of time trying to fix someone else's problems or getting pulled into other areas that don't really help you progress, then you have to ask yourself if that's really productive in your life. You don't need to cut these people out directly or these things out completely, but you have to kind of pick your time. Your time is not infinite, it's finite, and you have to make sure that you are positioning correctly, organizing your day, and getting done what you need to. I myself, when I set a to-do list, I don't care if I don't sleep that day. I don't care if I'm needing to do something. When I do my show preps, for instance, it doesn't matter if I have to go train at 11 o'clock, midnight, 1 in the morning. I don't care. It's just something I have to do. If I have to get up super early, 3 or 4 a.m. to do cardio or whatever it is, it makes no difference to me. Same thing goes with my work and my success and anything else I wanted to get done. When I was achieving my doctorate, I would stay up till 2, 3 in the morning doing my stuff. I'd get up super early if I had to. I would cut out a lot of stuff I didn't need to do or would get in the way in order for me to complete it. And I worked around everybody's schedule and everything I could do in order to maintain the responsibilities that I had as a dad and as a husband and as a part-time professor, a full-time employee. And I made sure I just did everything I did. I was a homemaker. I was the everything. But I always made it work because I knew I wanted to do these things, and I had responsibilities that I put on myself, but I had to get it done. And you just have to have that fixation to do it and just finish it. I can tell you one thing, nobody ever regrets achieving anything, no matter what it is that you set yourself out to. Is it going to give you everything that you want in the end? No, probably not. But you're never going to look back and say, I wish I didn't do that, because it's a character builder, and it's something that sets a lot of people apart from everybody else, because not everybody else is trying to do anything like that, and they don't have direction in their life. They don't have the fixations, which makes life kind of mediocre at best. So this is me telling you, read my book. It's a quick 10-page read. I think I made it $1, but also set your goals, go for it, and just know that it's gonna suck and you're gonna have to do things every single day to get it done. But in the end, it's going to matter to you, and it's going to be an achievement that no one's ever going to be able to take from you. And it's something that it matters to you. But you have to be perfect every day. You have to be consistent every day. And you can't put it to wayside. You can't make excuses, and you can't blame others, and you can't get in your own way. Just do it. Because the best thing I can say is just shut up, put in the work, take your time, and get it done. So that's me, giving you a piece of my mind on this wonderful Friday night. You guys all have a great night.